At this point, everyone knows of my love of the Thieaudio Monarch Mk3. I even made an entire video on it finally, so if you want to watch that, well, click on the button. But it is because of my love for the Monarch Mk3 that when Thieaudio finally announced the newest update, the Thieaudio Monarch Mk3, everyone just went for it straight away. It's an upgrade, isn't it? Mk3, that's higher than 2, isn't it? So today, it is finally time for me to break my silence on the Thieaudio Monarch Mk3. Does Critical prefer the Mk3 over the Mk2? Does he even like the Mk3? All your questions shall be answered right now. Let's get into it. So if you've been living under a rock for the last 3 years or just simply are completely new to the hobby, then let's just go through the context once again. This is the Thieaudio Monarch Mk2. It is one of my favorite IEMs that have come out from Thieaudio and has famously gotten top rank on my IEM ranking list, which is now discontinued and won't be updated anymore. But because of that, it has also immortalized itself as one of the best IEMs that is on that list, and a lot of people still visit that list till today. So naturally, when Thieaudio have announced the Monarch Mk3, everyone immediately thought that, hey, the Mk3 is the update to the Mk2, so it should be better. And what is better than the best? Well, it means that it's the best now, right? So let's just rip off the band-aid. In terms of personal taste, personal enjoyment, the Mk3 doesn't quite do it for me as well as the Mk2. So if you were to ask me, Critical, the human being, whether or not I prefer the Mk3, I would say no, I would pick the Mk2 over the Mk3 every single time. But that said, you already know that if we're talking about it on this channel, it means that it is Critical approved. The Thieaudio Monarch Mk3 is Critical approved and we sell it at Hangout.audio. But as per usual, all of you would have the same questions about why exactly the Mk3 is approved, even though I already said that I don't like it as much as the Mk2. First, let's talk about the sound. The Monarch Mk3 is, from a driver configuration perspective, almost identical to the Monarch Mk2. The difference between the Mk3 as well as the Mk2 is literally just in one driver. In the Mk3, you get an isobaric DD woofer configuration, which means one extra dynamic driver compared to the Mk2. So on paper, I can kind of see why people would regard the Mk3 as just a straight upgrade. It's literally just the Mk2 with a better woofer, if you want to put it that way. The main difference between the Mk3 and the Mk2 is that the Mk3 is now more V-shaped than the Mk2. It has distinctly more bass as well as more treble compared to the Mk2. And again, it adds the wow factor that the Monarch Mk2 was sorely lacking. People first heard the Mk3 and thought, wow, there's a lot of bass, a lot of treble, sounded like better bass, sounded like better treble, and therefore it was indeed an upgrade over the Monarch Mk2. So here is where I say that the Monarch Mk3 is a great sounding IEM. I wouldn't be selling it if I didn't think that it was good. Again, I just prefer the Mk2. The Monarch Mk2 is what I feel is an IEM with good proportions. Everything is well balanced, everything is as it should be, but when you screw around with those proportions, then things just start to sound a little bit weirder than usual, maybe more exciting like in the case of the Mk3, but a little bit more weird, at least in my opinion. But with the changes to the dynamic driver woofer, the changes to the crossovers, I would say that the Mk3 actually does sound a little bit more technical than the Mk2. It sounds like there's more detail that is being dug up from beneath the surface. The Mk3 does render those details a little bit more clearly than the Mk2. So if I was still updating my IEM ranking list, I'll probably have the technical performance of the Mk3 slightly higher than the Mk2. It's just that in terms of tonality, I would dock points on the Mk3 compared to the Mk2. So it kind of just all balances out in the end. So if you're asking me personally about my opinions on the Mk3 versus the Mk2, well, I'm just gonna go with a bit of a cop-out answer and just say that it's different. I prefer the Mk2, but when we have our customers try out both the Mk3 as well as the Mk2s, we see also kind of an even split between the Mk3s versus the Mk2s. People appreciate the Mk2s for their balance, while they appreciate the Mk3 because it pushes out details more and it does sound more exciting. So now let's talk about the non-audio opinions, which is going to be basically a copy and paste from my Monarch Mk2 video. Again, resin shell with a metal nozzle, nothing much special there. The cable has changed from the Mk2 from a more cloth sheathing to now what is pretty much plastic. The interchangeable connectors are also slightly different from the Mk2. The Mk2 has a more carbon fiber finish, while the Mk3 is much more simple. I would say. And of course, shell-wise, it's still really big. In fact, it might be slightly bigger considering the fact that the Mk3 again has one extra dynamic driver. So now let's talk about the shoulds and the shouldn'ts, why you should consider a Monarch Mk3. Consider the Mk3 if you like the Mk2 and are looking for something that is a little bit more exciting, aka more bass as well as more treble. The Mk3 is basically a more V-shaped, more detailed version of the Mk2, so if that's up your alley, go for it. At the end of the day, the Monarch Mk3 is still one of the best IEMs in the world, at least in the opinion of this one guy on the internet. So hey, at least if you're looking for some of the best in the world, at least just put the Mk3 into your shortlist. And of course the shouldn'ts, which is quite simple. It costs $1,000, which is not small money for most people in the world. It is different from the Mark II, so if you already own a Mark II but are concerned to get a Mark III, I would say in general, I would advise against that. And the usual problems that a Mark II has, the shell is very big, very chunky, so if you have small ears, stay right away. So there you have it, the Monarch Mark III, still one of the best IEMs in the world, but just according to this one guy on the internet, I still prefer the Mark II, just purely based on taste and preference. And if you want to find out your taste and preferences, why not just come down to the Hangout? We're located at 29B Mall Street, level 3 in Chinatown. Just come on down and ask for any of the Monarchs. We have them all, Mark 1, Mark 2, as well as Mark 3. Come down, grab a cup of coffee, test them all out, and then make your own opinions. And for those of you who are not in Singapore and think that the Mark 3 might be up your alley, why not just visit us at Hangout.audio, our online retail store. Come buy a Monarch Mark 3 on our store and we have it shipped right to your doorstep with no shipping fees, with some exceptions. This is critical for Hangout.audio, and remember kids, if it's not on the list, it doesn't exist. See you next week.